So you guys do have sort of like, I have to see it as, you've got the religious imperative,
Yes.
which is very, very important to you.
Yes.
That is part of what keeps you going.
Yes.
But then there's also a real, emotional bond.
Sure.
Some people would like denigrate it and say, well, yeah, you're buddies, but still,
more
it's
than that.
good. That's better
Yeah.
than other relationships. And that keeps you going. That has to be present as well. And you have that.
Definitely.
For me, I just go, well, still, I wonder, for me, even if I were to find this amazing best friend, and so, even as the person that I am today, definitely not the person I was before, would that be enough in addition to like having the religious component as an imperative? I don't know. I honestly
Sometimes it's not.
Yeah,
There are moments when
absolutely.
it is absolutely not enough. I'm like looking at this woman saying, oh my hell, I am out. Right?
Never. Yesterday. That was yesterday, right?
Was that
Sunday? Yes.
What
Yesterday.
happened?
No, it's just one of those.
It's just one of those days. But I think
It was just all too much. It was too hard.
everything
Everything was too
Well,
hard.
let's go, but if you can't, you don't have to get too specific, but in the details of the day. But that again, that comes to anybody's question. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean it's too hard? What do you mean it's too much? Like, what's too much about it? What's too hard about it?
It's too hard. Too hard. Just
In those moments, what was?
the biggest problems I have is a fear. Is the fear that he's unhappy, that he's unfulfilled, that he's going to leave, that he's going to feel like this is too hard and he's going to go.
Yeah.
That's kind of my fallback. Too hard. That's usually what it is.
Yeah.
What is too hard.
And to feel that all the time, or reoccurring again and again, it's like too much to keep having this present in my life.
Yes.
All this fear and. it's
Yep.
like,
That's
yeah,
pretty much that's pretty much sums it up.
Wow.
It's just that fear.
Yeah.
How about you?
I have to be very careful not to live in fantasy world. And fantasy world meaning that, seeing other people out there, the grass is always greener, having their companion, I don't even know how to describe it, just being, they have these blissful relationships, and that's just not reality. The reality is that even if I were to leave and to have a male companion and be in this bond in a homosexual relationship, there's going to be days when I'm going to look at him and say, what the hell am I doing here? I am out. But when we were talking earlier about, you have to release it and submit to the outcome. Let it just flow. Because if you try to hold on to it, the more you think and the more you ponder on it, the more you really delve into it, you can really build up something that's not really there.
Yeah. We were actually just talking about that in a similar vein today about the pressure that you can allow to build up.
Absolutely.
And then feeling the pressure to live up to or be all that you think this should be or can be, and but yet knowing it's not, or I'm not, I'm not 100% every day, and then being able to submit to the process.
Because who said that this is what it's supposed to be, one way or another?
Right.
Why is this relationship that we have not exactly where we're supposed to be and what we're supposed to be having?
Yeah.
Who said?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Besides society?
Which, what do they know?
What
do they know? Yeah, they're just as screwed up as we are.
There's a choice we made. We made a choice to get married, and we made a choice to have kids, and we made a choice even knowing what we knew then. We obviously were pretty naive at that point, but we went in with as much knowledge as we could. We did, I had been seeing a therapist at the time, and
I went to see the
she went to
therapist.
see the therapist and talked about some of the issues that could evolve, and we've hit every single one of them.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Spot on.
We're good students.
Yeah.
We shut up to class.
But and it's powerful that you can live your story and tell your story, but in a way that is not intended to be threatening to anybody else in terms of preaching. You can or should live the way that we do, and you can let your story sort of coexist along other people's stories, where people who have experienced much of what you have and said, I'm out. This is not. We both want to live different lives than what this is.
Definitely.
Well, you know.
Well, and I don't doubt that every single one of those people had been where we are. And honestly, I panic a little bit when I see people who are happily divorced. I think,
Yeah.
am I holding him back?
And are you holding yourself back?
Am I holding me back? I don't really allow myself to think that, though.
You always point at it.
I always say, "Oh, I can't hold him back. It's all about him because, I know I am where I need to be. I have that. I'm confident in that. As hard as it gets, I always have that. But
even as unfulfilled as you say you are. Sometimes.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
I know it's.
Okay.
You can't explain it to somebody. It just is what it is.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I always, I can't hold him back.
Mm.
Poor guy. So put upon.
I am. Ball and chain.
Yes.
Yeah, which is an interesting twist on the typical outsider view on the dynamic, where it's like more like, poor her who's been roped into this relationship and she's not being fulfilled, and she's like, the sort of the vapid, detached woman scenario, whereas it's the other way around. It's like, oh, this poor gay guy that's strapped down to the woman.
Yes.
If I could just let loose and live the life.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
so much pressure.
Yeah.
Stereotypes. So.
Yeah. I mean, you can see it both stereotype either way. It's
Yeah. Wow.
it's just us.